night. And a service error against Milwaukee, a 1-0 lead. Dropping back for the Panthers, Natalie Schmitz. A regular in the lineup last year, played all 127 sets. Yu on the set. On his right side, sent back to Schmitz. On his near side, you have Jordan Harvey. Maddie Malone going to the back row. Yu. That time with Elia Rubin getting the side out for Stanford. Top returning when it comes to the Cardinal attack. Was number 2 on the team last year with 423 kills. Elena Ogilvy is one of the 2 sporting the libero jersey for Stanford. Josie Johnson back as one of these setters. Lakin Graves with the kill. A 2-1 Panther advantage. Back for the Panthers, Lakin Graves. Right now, Milwaukee with Alexis Lewis, a transfer from Memphis, part of the front row with Maddie Malone. Also out there is Bree Gertz, Josie Johnson at setter, along with Katie Goba and Lakin Graves. Right now, the score reads 2-1 in favor of the Panthers. I believe a challenge here by Stanford of that last Panther point. Head coach for the Cardinals is Kevin Hambley. 8th season as the 6th head coach in program history. Was the head coach for 8 seasons at Illinois and led that team to a national runner-up finish back in 2011. And a couple of national championship victories back-to-back years with Stanford in 2018 and 2019. Across the way, at the Panthers' helm, Susie Johnson back for her 18th season as the head coach, 28th season with the program. Coming up on Sunday as the Panthers right now begin a stretch of 3 matches in 3 days. But come Sunday, she will coach her 500th match at the Panthers' helm. What an atmosphere, though, here inside the K. Looking to put that program record for attendance to the test. The program record, 1,121. They were here in 2006 for the Panther Invitational matchup against the Wisconsin Badgers. That number is certainly in jeopardy. This crowd fired up too, hoping for an upset. As the Panthers come in with a record of 2-35 all-time against ranked competition, but both wins have come and against ranked competition here inside the Klatsche Center. Most recently in 2008, knocking off then-ranked 18th Iowa State. Also beat then-ranked number 9 Wisconsin in 1999. Ruling on the court stance, point for the Panthers, and a serve here for Lakin Graves. A long serve, both teams now with a service error. Tied at 2 here in set number 1. On back for Stanford is Jordan Harvey. Her sophomore year from Salt Lake City, Utah. Josie Johnson, Maddie Malone. Calling everybody off. Ogilvy, big windup, and Rubin on the kill. Going back to last season, Elia Rubin coming through with 13 double-doubles, tied for the team lead, 7th in the Pac-12. But 10-plus kills on 22 separate occasions. There's a look at Kara Erdman. Yu, and sliding across, the big right hand. Dug out by the Panthers after the return by Sammy Francis. But the Panther return goes long and out of bounds, and a point for the Cardinal. Stanford up 4-2. Harvey continues to be on the service line. Testing Goba. Now Maddie Malone by the block. Ogilvy plays it. Yu on the set to Rubin. Another point here for Elia Rubin. A 2-time all Pac-12 selection. All-American. In fact, Stanford, talking about experience back. They bring back 3 of 5 All-American from last year's squad. Johnson going to the right side. And a point here for Bree Gertz. Fourth on the team last year in kills. Into the Panthers lineup, into the front row comes Rachel Scott. To the back row, Melissa Tomic. Brand new to the Panther roster, a freshman from Dyer, Indiana. Now part of this two-setter offense. Helping replace Kaylee Blake, who split the setting responsibility with Josie Johnson last year. Another point here for Rubin. A heck of a start for Rubin here in set one. That sees Stanford up 6-3. Rubin beyond the service line was number 2 on the team last year with 37 aces. A service ace here. Overall, Stanford last year with a grand total 224 service aces. They bring back ultimately 3 out of their top 5 servers. Now a service error. Panthers stay within 3. Back into the front row is Natalie Schmitz. For the Panthers beyond the service line, Maddie Malone. You played there by Erdman, and the swing by Schmitz. Block was ready, and against Ipar Kurtz, swung back by the right hand of Rachel Scott. Kurt going airborne, pops it up and out of play. Over the top side of the Panther block. Milwaukee stayed within 2 at 7-5. For the Panthers, looking back at last year's totals, losing their top 3 servers. They're going to fill that void as Stanford gets the side out. Ipar Kurtz, a redshirt last year. Now a Stanford change, we'll see Anna Pringle beyond the service line, a junior out of California. Played in 33 matches with 1 start, 113 sets last fall. Tomic, Schmitz, looking for a touch, and she gets it. Back in for the Panthers, Lakin Graves. Ogilvy back onto the floor for Stanford, and beyond the service line is Hallie Cook, a transfer from UNC Greensboro. You out of the back with Rubin, already with 4 kills on 4 attempts. Ogilvy, you over to Kurtz, down the line, and a kill for Stanford. Ipar Kurtz, now with a couple of kills. Ogilvy off this sequence with you on over with Kurtz for a 9-6 Stanford lead. Another service there, that's number 3 for Stanford, goes against Taylor Yu. It's an aggressive serving team, always has been, but with that aggressiveness comes a number of service errors, and so far 1 ace, 3 errors in this first set for the Cardinal. Josie Johnson, 4th on the team last year with 24 service aces, the top returnee. Down the middle with Lizzie Andrew. Good size at 6'5", a freshman from Ridgefield, Washington, born in Portland, Oregon. A member of the US U21 national team, 2023-2024. Kurtz to Malone. Josie Johnson, helped over by Lakin Graves. Back outside again with Rubin. You, off the right hand with Andrew. Ogilvy, off the right hand with Harvey. Josie Johnson, on the windup by Bree Gertz. Contact with the antenna. Ball's out of bounds to Stanford. They go up 11-7. Back on the serve, Ipar Kurtz. Early on, 4 kills for Rubin, 2 for Kurtz. 3 different Panthers have 1 kill each. Gertz. That's her second kill. Has been fourth in the team in kills each of the last couple of seasons. Senior from De Pere, Wisconsin. Big swing around the setup. Lizzie Andrew. And a service error left short here by Natalie Schmitz. Back in for Milwaukee is Katie Goba. Serving Ogilvy. Finishing tied for fourth last year with 33 service aces. A fifth-year libero for Stanford. Ogilvy from Honolulu, Hawaii. A two-time Pac-12 libero of the year and a two-time AVCA All-American honorable mention. Gonna fly over. Tough first touch there by Rubin, and a point for the Panthers. In for Milwaukee, Alexis Lewis. The serve for Lakin Graves. Stanford leads 12-9 here in set number 1. Great set for Francis. More size in front of preseason All-ACC selection. Sammy Francis, a 6'6" senior and middle blocker from San Diego, California. Perfect placement there from Taylor Yu. Johnson, guided over by Brie Gertz. Yu to the outside, tipped, knocked into the air by Gertz. Johnson, and some miscommunication, ball's gonna land. And Stanford leads 14-9. Beyond the service line, Jordan Harvey, a member of the U.S. U21 national team training in Shreveport, Louisiana, with a long serve. That's been a big part of the production so far for Milwaukee as the Panthers make a change, a couple of changes with Rachel Scott into the front row, and again, Tommy's right now as the setter, but also the server. But currently of the 10 points put up by the Panthers, 4 have come off Stanford service errors. Rubin to Erdman. Set goes to Malone. Off the block by Taylor Yu. Milwaukee with back-to-back to stay within 3 at 14-11. Melitza Tomic, in high school, a 4-year varsity volleyball player, all-conference, team MVP, team captain. Rubin off the block. That was returned by Scott going off to the block. Into the net goes Rubin. 4 hits against Stanford, 3 straight points for the Panthers. Down 14-12 right now with momentum in this opening set. Tomic among 4 Panther freshmen with a service ace. That's off Ogilvy. 4-0 run. Panthers back within 1 at 14-13. Tomic. Yu. Back to Rubin. Into the block. Rachel Scott. Alexis Lewis. Set 1 tied at 14. Those two sealing off the right side. Taking away the swing of Elia Rubin. 5-0 Panther run, tied at 14 here at set 1. 3 tied, 1 lead change so far in this opening set. Off the right hand by Sammy Francis. Neither team has taken a timeout. We've reached 15. Stanford leads 15-14, immediate timeout. This is Horizon League Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Back in Milwaukee, a 15-14 lead in set 1 for 5th-ranked Stanford. First set that have seen thus far 3 ties, 1 lead change at 1 point. Stanford was up 14-9. Milwaukee able to answer with 5 straight to tie things up at 14. Sammy Francis, though, with the latest kill, as the Cardinal back up 15-14. A couple of kills off 3 attempts for senior Sammy Francis. All Pac-12 last year, was all region as well in 2023. Elia Rubin on the serve. Trying to set up Malone, but a net violation here that's going to go against Milica Tomic. That double touch on a set has been taken away to one of the other new rules in women's college volleyball this season, outside of the now 2 libero lineup possibility. Off that swing, Alexis Lewis. Again, played at Memphis for the last 3 seasons. 11 matches last year after playing in 11 matches in 2022. Had 16 match appearances as a freshman in 2021. A long serve for Maddie Malone. There have been 4 service errors against Stanford, 3 now against the Panthers. Pringle back in to serve for the Cardinal. (17-15) Stanford. Malone, and the set to Lewis, and that came from Tomic. Schmitz, Tomic on the return, knocked back by Lizzie Andrew, battled the nets, won by Stanford on that far side, Ipar Kurtz. Timeout for Milwaukee as Stanford. They have responded in a big way after seeing a 14-9 lead evaporate. They have responded with 4 of the last 5 to go up 18-15 in this opening set. A look at Stanford and a look at the Panthers. For Milwaukee, talking about the experience back from last year. Nice bounce back for the Panthers in 2023, but what an opportunity here, what a challenging start to this 2024 season. But look at the history. We mentioned it earlier. They have gone 2-35 all time against ranked competition, having lost 16 consecutive. The last time they faced a ranked opponent, you have to go back to September 11th of 2022 at number 23 Marquette, lost 3-0. 2-2 at home against ranked competition, but they've never faced a top 5 team here inside the K. In fact, they've only faced 1 top 5 opponent all time. That was back in September of 2013, falling against then number 4, Florida. Also the first time since 2004 the Panthers open up a season with a standalone single match, not part of a multi-team event, hosting at North Dakota State and sweeping the Bison in 2004. Out of the Milwaukee timeout, Schmitz gets the side out off the set from Milica Tomic. Back in to serve Hallie Cook. A great setup. On that far side did Natalie Schmitz. Had some great moments last year with a high of 17 kills in 4 different matches. Cook. That was Harvey on the return. Schmitz into the nets. That being the 3rd attacking error against the Panthers. There have been 3 so far against Stanford. Here's Taylor Yu. On 5 freshmen for Stanford, 4 true freshmen. Again, tough task here in this opener, trying to fill the void with Cammie Minor. A scratch for this season opener. Commits the 5th Stanford service error. Josie Johnson back in to serve and set. Bree Gertz back in. The right side hitter also can double as a middle blocker. Her senior year from De Pere, Wisconsin, among 6 seniors for Coach Susie Johnson. Service ace for Josie Johnson. That's the second Panther ace. And again, hanging around, down 19-18. Johnson, Ogilvy, down the middle, Lizzie Andrew. What a presence in front. As she makes her collegiate debut, Andrew barely having to leave the ground. With that thunderous kill, put Stanford up 20-18. Kurt to Malone. Johnson, Natalie Schmitz on the dive. Point here for the Panthers. Beyond the service line, Natalie Schmitz. Part of the Horizon League All-Freshman team a couple of years ago following the 2022 season, and she nearly came up with an ace. Instead, an incredible return by Jordan Harvey. Very tough angle to work with. It looked destined to be a service ace, and instead becomes a point here for Jordan Harvey and Stanford up 21-19. Ogilvy into the nets. Panthers down 21-20. Out front, Alexis Lewis. Lakin Graves. Long. And both teams have seen service errors come into play. 6 now against Stanford, 4 against Milwaukee. Harvey. Johnson. Back on that right side, but a long return for Bree Gertz. And Milwaukee will take their final timeout here in this opening set. Currently down 23-20. Early on, Stanford got 4 kills from Rubin. But since, it's been Kurt with 3, 2 for Lizzie Andrew, a couple of kills for Sammy Francis. And that latest kill for Jordan Harvey. Milwaukee has gotten 3 kills from Natalie Schmitz, 2 for Bree Gertz, 1 for Lakin Graves, 1 for Josie Johnson, 1 for Alexis Lewis, and 1 from Maddie Malone. Big question mark coming in, and Coach Johnson very confident with the depth of this roster, the talent up and down this roster, but Panthers having to fill a couple of voids. Losing middle blocker Ari Miller, the 2021 Horizon League Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and an All-American honorable mention, a 5-time first-team All-Horizon League selection. You lose that production. As she finished her career, 135 matches with 1,563 kills, not to mention over 200 digs, 451 total blocks. That's a key loss. On top of the fact, you lose defensive specialists at times, a libero in Sarah Schrader, who played in 92 matches, 83 service aces among the who's who beyond the service line. Not to mention her 942 digs, an average of 2.9%. Already mentioned losing one half of their 2-setter offense with Kaylee Blake, but in comes Tomic. Ace out of the timeouts. That for Harvey, and Stanford serving for set 1. Down the line, back-to-back service aces, and Jordan Harvey ends set number 1. Stanford takes it 25-20. So the 5th-ranked Cardinal up 1 set to none. On to set 2 we go from Milwaukee. It's a Friday of Horizon League Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Set 1 goes the route of 5th-ranked Stanford here in Milwaukee, 25-20. Season opener for both the Panthers and Cardinal inside the Cloutzy Center. The Horizon League and our members live and play in the largest and most vibrant cities in the country, allowing our student athletes exposure to unique experiences only available in major cities. To learn more about all of our major cities, visit horizonleague.com/brand recharge. And check out the favorite spots to visit, eat, and socialize of our athletes and administrators in our major cities by visiting HorizonLeague.com/LITL. That first set would see 3 ties, 1 lead change at 1 point. Stanford was up 14-9. Milwaukee rallied to tie things up at 14, but then Stanford able to end the opening set by scoring 11 of the last 17, including the last 4 for the 25-20 victory. The Cardinal hitting .321. Panthers at .238. So far, 4 kills for Elia Rubin. The Panthers are getting 3 kills from Natalie Schmitz. Also of note, only 1 block so far that belongs to the Panthers. A block assist for Alexis Lewis and a block assist for Rachel Scott. On the serve for Milwaukee is Josie Johnson, already with one of the team's 2 aces. And away we go here in set 2. Ogilvy, reaching back Rubin. And off that quick start too. The tone setter. Gertz, blocked the flex out for Rubin. Much like the opening set, Milwaukee able to strike first. Johnson back for her junior season from Burlington, Wisconsin. This being her 64th career match. Now with 37 career service aces. Johnson with the Panthers' 5th error. 6 service errors against Stanford in that opening set. Into the front row comes Sammy Francis, a preseason All-ACC selection, along with Elena Ogilvy. Elia Rubin and Cammie Miner is scratched tonight, also for that preseason All-ACC team. The block in front, Sammy Francis in front with Jordan Harvey. Last year, Francis 10th in the Pac-12 at 1.10 blocks per set. As Josie Johnson setting up Lakin Graves. Contact with the net against Stanford. Set 2 tied at 2. Here's Natalie Schmitz. On over. Ball played by Francis. Off the right hand by Rubin. Schmitz. Behind the back return from Kara Erdman. Up that right side, and Harvey had the block deflect out. Maddie Malone, Lakin Graves on that far side for Milwaukee as Katie Goba something replaced Natalie Schmitz. And beyond the service line, Jordan Harvey able to end that opening set with back-to-back aces. Johnson, big swing. Great result for Bree Gertz. Has led the way so far at 4 kills off 8 swings, also with 1 dig. Lakin Graves back for her 3rd season at Milwaukee after transferring in from Omaha. Ogilvy and Rubin with the play along with Kurt. Raptors here inside the K coming into play. Sliding across that right side. Nice finish for Sammy Francis. Now back comes Rubin. 37 service aces a year ago. Found many ways to contribute points. Was 6th in the Pac-12 at 4.12 points per set. Josie Johnson reaching back Malone. Getting that side with Sammy Francis sticking the hand up there and deflecting it, but then the kill here for Alexis Lewis. You see that deflection by Francis, but then staying with it. Johnson setting up Lewis for the kill. Nice addition. Coach Johnson real upset not only about her freshmen, but also her two transfers, hoping to make an immediate impact. We've already seen Graves out, or Cook out there as a second libero. There's Erdman. Return made by Malone. Ogilvy on over by Francis. Malone on the tip. Out of the back with Rubin. That's her 5th kill, but her first since very early on in set number 1. Made the serve as Pringle. Back into the front row is Lizzie Andrew. Had a couple of kills off 3 attempts in that first set. Pringle on over with Malone. The setup there from Tomic. Right back to Malone. We're going to get Maddie more involved into the offense. That's her 2nd kill, 7 attempts. Last year, Malone, first team All-Horizon League for the first time since 2021. Was 2nd team All-Horizon League in 2022, but had 15 double-doubles last year, including double-doubles in the last 3 and 5 of the last 6 matches. Little trickery, able to score the Stanford points. Maddie Malone also with 26 10-plus kill performances, including in 16 of the last 17. (6-5) Stanford, set 2. Tomic. And the block ready. The combination of Kurt and Andrew. Able to seal off this near side, off the swing by Rachel Scott. To Tomic, over to Scott. And again, right there with Epar Kurtz. Tomic gives way to Schmitz. Maddie Malone. Ogilvy on the set. And the swing there by Harvey. Scott having adjusted the setup there by Tomic. Down the middle with Andrew. She has picked her moments, and she has come up big these first couple of sets. Some key moments. Stanford back up 8-5. They've scored the last 3. There's the first service error of the second set for the Cardinal. Back in is the aforementioned Hallie Cook. Springfield, Missouri. Played in 20 matches for UNC at Greensboro last year after playing in 18 matches, 52 sets back in 2022. Ogilvy, Taylor down the middle again with Andrew, and the block attempt by Lakin Graves goes awry. So back in, Kara Erdman. And again, running the Panther offense, Elitsa Tomic. Off the top tape, Scott, Schmitz, and reaching back, that's Harvey. Tipped over again by Schmitz, dug out though by Rubin. Harvey, kept alive, and the return stays inbounds. Boy, watch this end result. Malone down the line, and see Rubin get out of the way thinking maybe it would carry. It did not far enough at least. And a point for Maddie Malone of the Panthers. Down 9-7. Josie Johnson. Already with 1 kill, 8 assists, and an ace. Big swing, Rubin. Boy, Stanford fans used to seeing that time and time again. Elia Rubin. What a job she has done. 10 kills on 21 occasions, coming in back in 2022. Essentially picked up where she left off last year. But Elia Rubin out of Santa Monica, California. All kinds of accolades that come her way and expecting more here in 2024. Knocked back by Rubin. Natalie Schmitz has the Panthers back to within one at 10-9. We saw back in set one, Panthers battled back and tied things at 14, but never could get over the hump. The block again! Maddie Malone along with Lincoln Graves. And set two is tied at 10. So first the service ace from Natalie Schmitz, now the block. Maddie Malone denying Jordan Harvey. Natalie Schmitz at the net. Right there is Lincoln Graves, giving the Panthers the 11-10 lead. 4 straight Panther points. 6 ties, couple of lead changes in this second set. Harvey, dug out by Gertz. Johnson, off the swing by Malone, down the line, that stays in bounds. And right now, this 2-point lead, the largest of the match for Milwaukee. Stanford taking a time out. Some fans rise to their feet inside the K. 12-10 Milwaukee here in set number 2. It's Horizon League Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Fantastic turnout here inside the Cloutzy Center on this Friday for the season opener. Women's volleyball seen Milwaukee battling number 5 Stanford, the highest ranked team ever to come and play volleyball here inside the K. Nearly a week in Milwaukee for Stanford, playing Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Marquette, all here in the Brew City before all said and done. Between now and September 4th. Out of the timeout, 5 straight. That run coming to an end for the Panthers. Off that point for Stanford. Back in for Milwaukee is Katie Goba, the Cardinal, up 1-0. Taking the opening set 25-20. Harvey to Goba. Erdman. Malone into the nets. So back-to-back out of the break, all even at 12. First couple of sets have been competitive. We have seen 10 combined ties, 3 lead changes. Johnson, off the right hand by Graves. Pushed over by Kurtz, dug out by Erdman. Far side Malone, sent back by Ipar Kurt, and Milwaukee back up 13-12. Gonna build off the energy here inside the K. Lincoln Graves. Over by Harvey, but out of bounds. And we mentioned the program record for Milwaukee for largest attendance here inside the K to watch a Panther women volleyball matchup is in jeopardy tonight. That record is 1,121, set back in 2006 against Wisconsin, part of the then Panther Invitational. The block stays in. Gertz and Lewis. Panther now with a 3-point lead, their largest in this matchup. Off the blocker, Rubin. Graves. Rubin, again the block. Despite the layout by Malone, unable to keep that possession alive. And a 3-0 Panther run. 15-13, Panthers by a couple. Here's Rubin. 4 kills in set 1, 4 kills so far in set 2, 8 in the matchup off 17 tries. But across the way, Malone. Rubin at the net. A battle with Gertz. Also there was Alexis Lewis battling there with Ipar Kurtz. to serve for the Panthers. Milica Tomic. Panthers up 16-13. You battled the net and got around the airborne Alexis Lewis. That will allow Pringle to come in and serve for Stanford. Following this point as you, nice job anticipating as Lewis put the hands up trying to be that roadblock and block the Stanford setter. Tomic across with Lewis going cross court but into the Stanford bench. The Cardinal back to within one at 16-15. Pringle. Tomic on the return. The little curveball Stanford's direction, but able to pick up. And Malone. Her 6th Panther kill. She's picked up her play in this second set after being limited to 1 kill in the first set. Has come to 5 kills here in set 2. Is now serving for the Panthers, who lead 17-15. That's going back. Long run, Rubin won't get there. A service ace for Maddie Malone. A 4th Panther ace has them back up 18-15. You. Across comes Lizzie Andrew. Erdman. Natalie Schmitz. You. Back on the right side, Harvey. Battled the net. Tipped over in front by Ipar Kurt. And a point for Stanford. They stay within 2. And now back on the serve, Taylor Yu. Just joining us. Again, she gets the start over Cami Minor. Out for this matchup. Cami Minor with a career total of 3,934 assists. A career average of 11.5 assists per set. Not only among the who's who in the Pac-12 the last number of years, but among the who's who nationally when it came to assists, as Cami Minor was 3rd in the country last year in total helpers in running the Stanford offense. Big right hand, Lakin Graves. 20-16 Milwaukee. Timeout. Stanford, their second and final timeout in this second set. Put a chance of MKE at various points. Trying to get behind this Panther team that went 10-3 here inside the K a year ago. Not an easy place to play. Right now, Milwaukee trying to give Stanford all they can handle. Stanford coming in 5th in the entire nation. You look at the AVCA preseason top 25. Texas, the defending back-to-back national champions. Number 1, Nebraska, number 2. They're coming off that 3-1 victory over Kentucky on Tuesday. Wisconsin, number 3. Pitt, number 4. Stanford, number 5. Wisconsin falling to Louisville, 3-1. All part of that AVCA first serve showcase in Kentucky on Tuesday. For the Panthers, some great tests early on. Not only Stanford, but another new member to the ACC, Southern Methodist. They have SMU next week in Dallas, Texas. We'll play at Wisconsin. First time the Panthers and Badger will meet since an NCAA tournament get-together back in 2013. We'll play Marquette later on. Iowa will come to town. The Panther Invitational is back this season with Illinois State, St. Thomas, and Iowa. All part of the Invitational. Out of the timeout. You. Into the net goes Jordan Harvey. Panthers lead 21-16. Kelly Cook. 3 straight for Milwaukee. Yu on the windup by Jordan Harvey. The point for Stanford. Her 3rd kill. Ends the 3-0 run. 19th assist for Taylor Yu. Long run, kept alive. Tomic. Near the net. Yu trying to fish it out. Block in front. Graves denied. That size of Lizzie Andrew once again coming into play. And wingspan as well. Timeout here for the Panthers, but again, Milwaukee in a scramble mode following the presence of Lizzie Andrew. Lizzie's mom won a gold medal at the 1995 Pan Am Games in fencing. Has a sister who plays volleyball at Baylor. I'm talking about the preseason top 25. They're ranked 23rd in the nation. Stanford back within 3 at 21-18. Mentioned last year they went 29-4. They won the Pac-12 regular season championship for a 2nd consecutive year. Back in the NCAA tournament, they're a regular. They've been to the NCAA tournament 42 times. They advanced to their 17th regional finals since the tournament expanded to 64 teams in 1998. As they beat Fresno State, they beat Houston, they beat Arizona State, then fell to Texas. 3 sets to 1 in a matchup that was tied at 1 set apiece. Before Texas won sets 3 and 4, 25-19, 25-22. A lot of history. Stanford last week finished the year ranked 5th. They were ranked as high as number 2 in 4 separate weeks. Portland has won 9 national championships. They've been a runner-up on 8 other occasions. Tomic, Schmitz, again Andrew with the block, wind up Rubin, down to net, pushed over by Lizzie Andrew. A double touch here. But a battle, a test of strength at the net with Natalie Schmitz and Lizzie Andrew. Now in is Taylor Bevan for the first time. A senior defensive specialist from St. Louis, Missouri, played in 13 matches, 19 sets last fall. Josie Johnson of Ogilvie. Rubin! Right back into the net by Maddie Malone. Was able to dig it out. A ricochet off the bottom portion of the top tape. Elia Rubin. Kill number 9. Ogilvie into the net. 10th Stanford service error. And their 4th here in set number 2. Panthers lead 23-19. Natalie Schmitz. Ogilvie. Yu. Rubin. That was off Erdman. Johnson. Natalie Schmitz right into the block of Sammy Francis. Right to Francis, who keeps Stanford within 3 at 23-20. Blocks have picked up here in the second set after Milwaukee had the lone block in set 1. Schmitz out of bounds. And Stanford is back to within 2, and the Panthers will take their 2nd and final timeout. 23-21. Panthers by a couple, and mentioned the block has picked up. Right now blocks are at 5-3 Panthers, or 4-3 Panthers here in this second set alone. Currently the Panthers are hitting .204. They hit the ball well. All you can ask for here in a season opener. The Panthers typically hit around .255 last year, tops in the Horizon League. Stanford hitting .283. They led the nation last year with a .316 hitting percentage. Maddie Malone has 6 kills, 4 for Briegert, 4 for Natalie Schmitz. Stanford has got 9 kills from Rubin, 5 for Lizzie Andrew, and 4 for Ipar Kurtz. We've harped on the service error stat quite a bit and mentioned Stanford a very aggressive serving team, and so you'll see those service error numbers a little bit higher. But they have committed 10 service errors, 5 against Milwaukee versus 4-3 Panthers in service aces. Both teams out of timeouts. Jordan Harvey, Josie Johnson, Maddie Malone, into the block that deflects out. Yu and Francis. And the Panthers are serving for set number 2. As the fans rise to their feet inside the K. Yu. Rubin gets the side out for Stanford. Her 10th kill. Rubin now with her 44th career double-figure kill performance. 24-22. Serving is Rubin. Johnson. Yu. Off the swing. Ipar Kurt brings Stanford back to within 1. With their backs against the wall, Stanford down 24-23. And a service ace ties things at 24. So facing set point, Stanford has battled back to tie things at 24. 8th tie, they have scored the last 3. Here in the net, that flies over, caught Stanford by surprise. That put Kurt in a tough spot. A lift, and again the Panthers serving for set 2. Right now, Kevin Hambley talking with the down official, Chris Howarth. Nikki Cathel is the up official. Counter him off, and Cynthia Andreas, the 2 line judges. As Melitza Tomic serves for set number 2. Yu out of the back with Rubin. And Stanford again ties things this time at 25. They've had their backs against the wall, set point. A few times now here down the stretch. At Milwaukee was up 24-21. They're able to battle back with 3 straight, tie things at 24 now. They've tied things at 25. Tomic to Malone. That's down for Ipar Kurt, and Stanford with an opportunity to steal this second set. The Panthers have been in the driver's seat for much of this second set, but Stanford with a chance to steal it here after they were down at 1 point, 24-21, battling to tie things at 24, battling to tie things at 25, and now playing with a 26-25 lead. Right now, Susie Johnson challenging that last point. And with both teams out of timeouts, nothing else, an opportunity here to try to sway some of that momentum. Allow the Panthers to catch their breath. Stanford leads 26-25. We've seen 9 ties and 3 lead changes in this set alone. It has been a very entertaining match so far in these first couple of sets. Stanford taking the opener 25-20. Stanford went 23-10 in opening sets last year. laying down that foundation for what was, again, another very successful season on the farm. They're expected to be not only a major factor nationally, but also expected to be right there in the conversation, battling for that ACC championship in their first year of the conference. They're predicted second among 18 behind Pitt. Following the challenge, ruling on the court stand. So both teams have been unsuccessful with their one challenge each. And Stanford serving for set 2. Their serve specialist, Anna Pringle. Tomic, Malone, and swung over there by Kurt. Scores the point. Stanford steals the second set. 27-25. They score 6 of the last 7 to take it and go up 2-0. To set 3 we go on this Friday in Milwaukee. You're tuned in to Horizon League Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. To start this third set, Ipar Kurtz. On back with Malone, Johnson, Schmitz into the block, backed up by Erdman, second effort there by Rubin. Tipped over by Rubin. But a point here for Stanford. They have scored the first point for the first time in any one of the 3 sets. Kurt. Back to Malone. Josie Johnson, Natalie Schmitz, and the block again ready. The combination of Lizzie Andrew along with Jordan Harvey. Last year, Stanford averaged between 2 and 3 blocks a set. Long serve. Service error number 11 has the Panthers on the scoreboard. Back in for the Cardinal is Taylor Bevan, her second set appearance after coming on late in set 2. Note off that block setup. There was no block, but simply an attacking error, so a 4-hit violation against the Panthers. Stanford at 5 blocks. All have come since set 2. Another point here for Stanford. They have come out and have taken a 3-1 lead. Katie Goba into the Panther lineup. Out goes Natalie Schmitz. Back into the front row for Stanford is Sammy Francis. Ogilvy. Long. So both Panther points have come off a couple of Stanford service errors. And now Lakin Graves. 127 sets for Graves last year. Second of the team in blocks, 4th in points. Side out. I'm gonna say a Panther touch. Right now, Susie Johnson questioning the call, but a touch here against Milwaukee. Erdman back on. Out for the Panthers goes Lakin Graves. Jordan Harvey. That goes long. 3 service errors early on in this third set for Stanford. Rachel Scott back in for the Panthers. Also in the set and serve, Melissa Tomic. Up the right side with Sammy Francis, but an attacking error, one of the few in this matchup for the Cardinal. And we're showing the graphic in between sets 2 and this third set. The hitting percentage is up there once again for Stanford, hitting at the moment .343. Off the right hand of Francis, and Stanford back up 5-4. That's her 5th kill in 8 attempts. Go along with a couple of blocks. E. Parkert into the Stanford front row. Elia Rubin to Malone. Right back to Malone. Off the top tape, Erdman. And then with Rachel Scott off the violation. And the Cardinal up 6-4. Rubin, a well-rounded night with 12 kills, 1 assist, couple of aces, 3 digs. Erdman, Maddie Malone. Again on the right side with Francis. Battle at the net. That was pushed over by Rachel Scott. Scott on the near side is going to fly. Out of bounds off the swing by E. Parkert. Panthers within 1, 6-5. Natalie Schmitz will sub in for the Panthers. On back to serve, Maddie Malone. She has a nice, well-rounded stat line as well with 8 kills, 1 ace, 4 digs, and a block. And a service ace here for Maddie Malone. 5th for the Panthers. Tied at 6 here in set number 3. Kurtz off Erdman. Tomic to Schmitz. Ogilvie cannot come up with it. Lead changes in Milwaukee up 7-6. To the play at the net with Schmitz out of the reach. Ogilvie. Staying on this right side. Nice job there by Lewis and Schmitz, but Stanford not giving up on the ball now as the Panthers in scramble mode, and Natalie Schmitz goes along with her kill attempts. Anna Pringle in for Stanford. In the front row is Lizzie Andrew. Anna Pringle. Sister played soccer at Penn, but now a grad transfer at number 3, UCLA. UCLA now in that Big Ten. Right there with Lewis. Lewis again. Pringle. Kurtz off Erdman. Malone. Natalie Schmitz around the block. Down the middle with Lizzie Andrew. That's down for a kill. That's her 6th kill in 10 tries. Stanford up 8-7. Schmitz, Tomic, back to Schmitz. On the back up, Erdman. High into the rafters. Coming across. E. Parkert was ready, able to take advantage. Watch this play out. Just over and Kurt in motion, down the line. 3 straight for Stanford, up 9-7. Malone, Tomic. Nice job, Alexis Lewis getting the side out. Senior from Roscoe, Illinois. Mom played volleyball at Idaho State. Been the same alma mater of Panther head coach Susie Johnson, who was a setter once upon a time at Idaho State, later coached at Idaho State. Hallie Cook. Left it short. 6th Panther service error. Serving is Taylor Yu. It's at 31 assists, couple of digs, couple of kills. Filling in for Cammie Miner tonight in this opener. That's long. Josie Johnson will sub in for Milwaukee, as will Brie Gertz. Right now is 3rd on the team with 4 kills. Josie Johnson with one of the team's 5 service aces. Yu, kind of the right side, went Stanford with Kurt. Bregertz. On over with Jordan Harvey. Watching the replay. They will beat the block. The right side with Gertz and Graves. The 11-9 Stanford. Ipar Kurtz with a service ace off Natalie Schmitz. 5th ace for Stanford. First for Ipar Kurtz. 2 from Rubin, 2 from Harvey thus far. Another service ace, back-to-back for the redshirt freshman from Turkey. And a timeout for the Panthers. Down 13-9 and a must-win set number 3 from the K. This is Horizon League Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Visit horizonleague.com/brand recharge. Out of the Milwaukee timeout, 13-9. 5th-ranked Stanford with the lead. Natalie Schmitz with a side out. That's a 3-0 run for Stanford. All before a record crowd 1,581 for a Panther women's volleyball home match. Surpassing the previous mark that was set 18 years ago. And down the line, Harvey picks up kill number 6. Stanford having to work for sets 1 and 2, but winning 25-20 and coming back to steal the second set after the Panthers were in the driver's seat for a good majority, winning 27-25. At one point in that second set, Milwaukee was up 24-21. Knocked under the net by Erdman. Stanford leads 15-10. Here's Ogilvy. Great Uncle Ben Ogilvy, Major League Baseball from 1971 through 1986, played for the Milwaukee Brewers, Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox. Some great genes for Elena. Her older sister played volleyball at Army. Lakin Graves. Yu, knocking it back, sent over by Francis. Returned into the net by Lakin Graves. 16-11 Stanford. Milwaukee has 1 timeout remaining. They will take that final timeout. Both timeouts still intact for Stanford. Now the road ahead for it, Milwaukee. This opener here inside the K, part of 3 matches in 3 days. They make their way to the Husky Invitational in DeKalb, Illinois, tomorrow and Sunday to take on the Western Illinois Leathernecks and the NIU Huskies on Sunday. Then you see off to Dallas, Texas next weekend for matches against SMU, a team receiving votes. Loyola Marymount and Weber State will be at Wisconsin on September 10th. And then back here for the return of the Panther Invitational against Illinois State, St. Thomas, and Iowa, September 13th, 14th, and 15th. In all, 13 non-conference matchups, 4 at home, 9 away. And then Horizon League play a new format this season, much like the COVID year of the spring of 2021, playing the same opponent from the same site in a weekend. For example, Horizon League play began September 27th and 28th. Milwaukee will be at Oakland for those 2 dates, and then here against IU Indy, October 4th and October 5th. But 18 Horizon League matchups, 9 at home, 9 away. It's a 31-match schedule with 13 home, 18 away here in this, the 35th season of Panther Women's Volleyball. Panthers predicted 3rd among 10 in the Horizon League preseason poll. A service error. And now Melissa Kawa, for the first time, will sub in for Stanford. A freshman defensive specialist. Also played beach volleyball in high school. Horizon League, Wright State and Northern Kentucky expected to finish 1 and 2. Wright State, they've won back-to-back regular season championships. Tipped over and out of the reach of Erdman. And right now a stoppage as they fix the scoreboard here inside the cage. You saw it on our graphic. All of a sudden the score reset to 0-0 here inside the K. Not sure if they're working on it as we speak, but should be 17-12 Stanford. Malone. And you on over with Francis. But now Susie Johnson saying the same thing, looking at the scoreboard going, hey, it's at 0-0 right now. I think they're trying to fix it. Not having much success as we speak, but it's 18-12 Stanford. Rubin. And some miscommunication, but return made by Goba. You. Off the right hand by Francis. Malone. You. The tip by Francis, dug out by Erdman. Goba. You. Out of the back with Rubin. The scoreboard back up and functioning here as we now reach 19-12 Stanford off this swing and kill by Elia Rubin. 14 kills, hitting .458. Rubin hit 300 or better 17 times last year. Malone. And sent over by Kurtz. 4 straight for Stanford. They lead 20-12. Rubin, who has making 2 service aces. There are 3 players that have 2 apiece for Stanford. Malone. Knocked back, Ogilvie. Tomic to Malone, off the block and over the reach, Agoba. 5 straight for the Cardinal. They go 21-12 after this. They prepare for the Women's College Volleyball Showcase at Pfizer Forum in downtown Milwaukee. An event that will include Texas, Stanford, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Lewis on the side out. Sunday we'll take on 18th ranked Minnesota before taking on 3rd ranked Wisconsin on Monday. Before they leave Milwaukee, they will be at Marquette, ranked 24th in the nation, on Wednesday. They have matchups 15 against top 25 teams or teams receiving votes in the preseason national rankings in this 29-match regular season. As they're on the verge of starting 1-0 for a 4th consecutive year for the 7th time in the last 8 seasons. Pringle serving. Note that Charity McDowell, something for the first time, a graduate transfer from Notre Dame, played against Milwaukee with the Fighting Irish in August of 2022 from South Bend, a victory for the Irish in 5 sets. Tomic on over by Lewis. The swing by Kurtz, and the point for Stanford. Stanford will take on #1 Texas, the defending back-to-back national champions from the farm. That's the home opener for Stanford on September 15th. Saw that replay, it's now 23-13. Stanford was 15-3 at home last year. Natalie Schmidt's on the kill, that's her 7th. And for the Cardinals, Sammy Francis. Panthers have gotten 8 kills from Malone, 7 for Natalie Schmitz. 11 digs from Kara Erdman. 13 assists for Tomic, 12 for Johnson. the top number for the Panthers. The swing there by Kurt. Natalie Schmitz down the line. Stanford's gotten 14 kills from Rubin. 10 for Ipar Kurt in her collegiate debut. 40 assists from Taylor Yu in her debut. 8 digs from Ogilvy. Malone. Tomic. Lake and Graves. And the Panthers with some momentum. With the serve here for Cook. It's 23-16 off this point with Lake and Graves. Callie Cook. Yu. McDowell. 4 straight for the Panthers. 23-17, not going away quietly. Over comes Yu, balancing net with Graves, and wins that battle. Stanford serving for the set and the match. As Jordan Harvey subs in, Taylor Yu will serve. (24-17). A service ace ends it for Taylor Yu. As Stanford coming to the K, they record a season opening sweep, 25-20, 27-25, and 25-17. Well, right now, Susie Johnson will challenge the ruling of a service ace. If it stands, that's service ace number 7 for Stanford, and the first for Yu, to cap off a heck of a night for the freshman from California, filling in for Cammie Minor. That's a luxury to have your coach Hambly. You have Minor, but then Taylor Yu with a great showing in her collegiate debut, gaining and building that confidence. The ruling on the court stands, a service ace for Yu, and Stanford takes it 3-0. Once again, 25-20, 27-25, and 25-17. So Stanford to 1-0. The 5th-ranked Cardinal now focuses on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The Panthers fall to 0-1, and now get ready for a turnaround of about 24 hours. Get ready for Western Illinois, a team the Panthers beat last year in 5 sets from the SIUE tournament, before taking on host Northern Illinois on Sunday. 14 kills for Elliott Rubin leads the way for Stanford. The Panthers got 8 kills from Natalie Schmidt, 8 from Maddie Malone in the defeats. What a night here inside the K, a record crowd of 1,581 as the 5th-ranked Stanford Cardinal, the highest-ranked team to ever play here inside the K, comes away with a 3-set sweep in this season opener. This is Matt Middle saying so long from Milwaukee. Again, your finals in 3 sets, 25-20, 27-25, 25-17. Stanford. All matches airing on the ESPN network, streaming live or archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.